Okay, y'all, it's the next day, and we're going to finish making our persimmon pie. I've kind of got me some dough here, fixing to roll it out. I'm trying to make sure it's not going to stick. I'm going to cook my pie crust. I'm going to cook it just a little bit and get it started, because I don't think it's going to take a long time for our persimmon pie to cook. But I do want this one really thin. So I'll work on it. I'm going to put it in a really pretty pie dish that was given to me. Let me show it to you. I think this is about big enough. It is pretty thin too. It's this one. I've already buttered it. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. I'm telling you, these pottery people, they are so creative. Let me see if this one had something on it. I see something, but you can't read it. It's right in the center. It's too little. I can't make it out. All right, so what we're gonna do is take our pretty pie dish and we're just gonna lay our pie dough down in it like this. And I'm gonna kind of press it to the side like that. Whoop, there's a hole. We can't have that. Our pie will be coming through. Let me patch it up. There we go. And I am going to cut off the edges right here. Let me get me a little knife. We'll cut that off. We're going to go ahead and put this in the oven and let it cook a little bit, maybe halfway or something like that. What do we do with this other dough? If my grandchildren were here today, they would be eating it. That's what they would do. They would for sure eat this dough up. I wouldn't have any left at all. They love raw dough. All right, so there's our pie shell. And let's put it in the oven. I've got it set on 350 while we mix up our persimmon. Now, you know, the other day, here's my persimmon right here. Yesterday, you know, when we peeled these, we hadn't put anything in it. This is our persimmon. I put it in the refrigerator, and it was so good. Here's a little bit of leftover pie dough. Anyway, all right, so let's make our pie filling. Hey, I've got all my ingredients out for us to mix up our persimmons, and I'm going to go over it with you when we do. I measured it, and this is 2½ cups of the persimmon puree. All right, let's put that in there. We are going to mix to that 4 eggs. It's going to be kind of like a persimmon souffle. This is going to make it come together. Uh-oh, I got a shell in there. There we go. When I talked to Trish about their persimmon tree, after that, I found out that there are all kinds of persimmons, and I don't know a thing about persimmons. I just know that they grow wild in our woods, but they're not this big. They are much smaller. They're much smaller. Let's pull this over here in case some comes out. We ought to just make this like a souffle. Instead of having the crust, just do it like this. Okay. Beat that up a little bit before we put in our next ingredients. All right, so now we're going to put in our spices, y'all. I'm going to tell you what they are. All right, here's what we're going to put into this. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. We are going to put in let me read what I put in it so I make sure I tell you right. We're going to put in a 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is this one right here. We're going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, which is that light colored one right there. We're going to put 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. You know, cloves are real strong. So there's that. And we're going to put a teaspoon of, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. But I didn't write it on there. I need to write it on there. I'm making this up as I go. A 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And there it is. Where is it? Did I put it in something else? Let's see what I did with it. Well, I don't know. Let me find my salt. Here it is in the bowl. Is that one? It's pink. But Himalayan salt, that's the reason. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to mix it with this flour right here before we put it in our little thing. We're going to mix it like this. Boy, it already smells like Thanksgiving. If your persimmons were making it at, getting ready at Thanksgiving time, wouldn't that be good? Since I'm making up my recipe and I didn't know how to do it, this is what I'm thinking. Y'all think I need 1 more tablespoon of flour? Or do you think the eggs are going to do it up good? What do y'all think? Don't you like to play in the kitchen and invent some stuff? Let's put 1 more thing of all-purpose flour. 1 more tablespoon. All right, here we go. We're going to put 1 more tablespoon in it. As Mama says, just for good measure. There have been lots of times in my life when I made up recipes they weren't fitting to eat. Then sometimes I'd make them up. It'd be the best thing you ever put in your mouth. And all I can say is it's fun. But you really do need to write down your recipes as you're making it up. So I'm going to change this to, let's see, where is my flour? On here so I could put it on. I didn't put it on there. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of all-purpose white lily. There we go. Now then, that's right. We got 2½ cups of persimmons, 4 eggs, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose white lily flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And we're also going to have only this much sugar is going to be in this because I told y'all how sweet this was. This is a 1/2 cup of lightly packed. So I'll just throw it in there. And here are our spices. Let's put them in there, a little at a time. Ooh, honey, this is going to be so good, I bet. It sure does smell good, I know that. All right, it's ready to go into our pie shell that we're just cooking just a little bit to kind of get it started. I need to taste this. See how it tastes. I might want to add something else to it before I bake it. Right? It is sweet. I bet you could make this with no sugar. Because I'm telling you, those persimmons were so sweet. All right. Let's get it and get our shell done a little bit. I think our pie crust is cooked enough. I didn't want it to cook all the way. I just want to kind of get it started because I like a crunchy crust. And sometimes your filling is so... I've got some leftover crust in there. I thought I'd cook it for the chickens instead of raw. All right, so here's our halfway cooked pie crust. It's not near ready yet, but it's on the way. Here's our filling, and I'm going to pour it in until it gets to the top. Let's see how close that's going to be. I'm going to cook it on 400 for just a minute or two, maybe 10 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it down to 350 because I want to get done in the middle of this kind of soupy, and I've never cooked this recipe before, and I made it up. So this is a test kitchen today for sure. All right, let's get this persimmon pie in the oven on 400, and I'm going to leave it there just a few minutes, maybe 10. And then we will turn it down, and then I'll tell you. All right, it's right now it's 5 minutes after 11 in the morning. 5 minutes after 11. And it's October, and it's I don't know what day of I don't know what it is. It's 2025. I know that, and it's October. But anyway, I'll tell you how long I'm letting it cook, because I really don't know, because I'm making it up, okay? I've never had a persimmon. I've never had a persimmon pie, so this is all new to me. Okay, y'all, I just took our pie out. It looks fantastic. And it cooked exactly 1 hour. 1 hour. And what I did is I took a knife and just stuck it down. You can tell where I stuck it down right here. To see, and there's nothing on the knife, so that means it's all ready. We made up the recipe. We put the spices in it that we wanted to put. So I'm going to let it cool, because I feel like that it'll slice better if it's cool, okay? Looks pretty, doesn't it? It kind of reminds me of a sweet potato pie. The crust looks good and crunchy on the outside, and that's what I wanted. So we'll let it cool, and then we will eat us a piece with a cup of coffee this afternoon, okay?